All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would love to give all praise and honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh being the name of God, and Yahweh Shai being the name of Jesus Christ. Right now, I want to quickly touch on a quick video, touched on all Israel didn't reject the Lord, right? Because you got a lot of Christians that come out and say that, all Israel rejected the Lord, man. They say that, his own, they go to John 1, and they say that his own, didn't receive him, they rejected him. To pretty much say that Israel, the Lord not dealing with Israel no more. And it's wicked, man. And it's wicked, because we was at camp, last week. And, and this guy, he bring that precept out, man. He talking about all Israel rejected the Lord. So these Christians, they go completely off, man. They go completely off. And they deceive the mass, the people. They deceive the people, man. The Lord said that he'll never forsake his people, man. He said if you see the stars, the sun, the moon, the stars, he'll never forsake Israel, man. If if he lose sight of the sun, or if the Lord lose sight of the moon or the stars, then he'll forget about Israel. But we know them things are not so. So we know that the Lord, he will always remember Israel, man. Right? Let's start off. I want to go to John. I'm trying to get this precept right quick. Jeremiah. This is the book of Jeremiah 31 and verse number 35, just to get that precept. It says, "Thus saith the Most High, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, was divided the sea when the waves thereof roared. The Lord of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Most High, then shall the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever." You see that? So the Lord lose the sight of the ordinances of the heavens, and then he will allow Israel to cease from being a nation. But we know we still see the sight of the sun. The Lord not gonna lose. He's not gonna say, "Oops, the damn moon is slipping from me. I lost control of the moon," or "the sun is slipping from me," or "I lost control of the sun." Them things is never gonna happen. So if those things never gonna happen, the Lord always gonna be dealing with Israel, man. Let's go. Let's get the precept that they go to. We're just gonna kind of touch on this, man, and just show you that the people that actually didn't, that rejected the Lord was the Pharisees and Sadducees, man. The top men at that time, man. They was rejecting the Lord, deliver him up, And why was they doing those things? Because they didn't want the Romans to take away their place, man. It was what they was into, robbing the people, just like you wicked pastors now. It was a lot of money in that. It was a lot of money. They was making money, man. So they didn't want the Romans to come in. And Yahweh Shai, he was kind of doing too much, He was taking too much glory away from their ministry, right? But let's get that in the book of John 1 and verse number 11, Slakia. It says, "He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name." So you had certain men that actually received the Lord, man. He did go into his own did receive him, but as many as did receive him. So all Israel didn't reject the Lord, man. That would be madness, man. You always had a remnant of people that believe. Even amongst the Pharisees and Sadducees, you had men that still believe. Let's get that right quick. Let's go to John, the 3rd chapter, right? And you still have men that believe, even amongst the Pharisees and the Sadducees, man. Let's go to John, the 3rd chapter. This John 3 and verse number, let me see if I want to start at 1. Yeah, I just start at 1. It says, John 3 and 1, "There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. The same came to Yahweh Shai by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from the Most High, For no man can do these miracles that thou doest except the Most High be with him. So you had Nicodemus, man, and he believed on the Lord, man. He said, look, the only way you're doing these miracles is except you got that from the Most High, man. So he knew that. Nicodemus, he believed in the Lord, man. You had men that actually believed in the Messiah, man. So all of his people didn't reject him. Even amongst the Pharisees and the Sadducees, man. You know? So you always had a remnant that will always believe in the Lord. Let's get another precept. See, these Christians, they try to say, oh yeah, his own didn't receive him. Pretty much trying to say Israel wasn't, the Lord won't deal with Israel. But we know what Paul said. We don't got to go there. But let's go to Mark 8. Mark 8 in verse number 30. It says, and he charged them that they should tell no man of him, and he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things, and be rejected of the elders, and of the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed, after 3 days rise again. And that's what you had. That's who really rejected the Lord, man. The chief priests, the elders, the scribes. These are the people that was really rejecting the Lord. You know, everybody didn't reject the Lord, man. So Christian, you got to stop saying that, man. Because first of all, you got Nicodemus. He didn't reject the Lord, man. Where's the account? Where Nicodemus, he didn't believe. There's no account, right? There's no account of Nicodemus not believing in the Lord. All right, let's get another precept. So you always had a remnant of our people that always believe in the Lord. The Lord said, I would not, I reserved unto myself 7,000 that would not bow to the image of Baal. Roughly paraphrasing. Let's go to the book of John, the 6th chapter, and verse number 6 and verse number 14. And it says, then those men, when they had seen the miracles that Yahushua did, said, this is of a truth that a prophet that shall come into the world. When Yahushua therefore perceived that they will come and take him by force to make him a king, he departed again into a mountain himself alone. So you had Israelites that was trying to make him king, right? You had Israelite men that believe in the Lord so much, and they saw the powers that he did and the miracles that he did. They said, look, let's make him king, They said, look, F this, we're going to make him king. Straight up, man. So you had men that actually believe in the Lord, man. So Christians, they gotta go. All the doctrines and wickedness, man. This John 12 and verse number 18. 18. It says, for this cause the people also met him, for that they heard that he had done this miracle. The Pharisees said among themselves, perceive ye how ye prevail nothing? Behold, the world is gone after him. And we know this world is talking about the world of Israel. The world was going after him. Right? Not the whole wild world, not the people that was in China, because how would the people in China be going after him if they ain't goddamn China? The world is talking about the world of Israel. The world of Israel was going after him. You see that? So let's read that again. The Pharisees therefore said among themselves, perceive ye how ye prevail nothing? Behold, the world is going after him. You see that? So the world of Israel, they was going after the Lord, man. And you had people trying to get to the Lord because he was doing miracles, man. You had the woman with the issue of blood. She was going after the Lord, man. She had the issue of blood, but what she was doing, she was getting to the Lord, man. You had people that would break their houses down, break their roofs down, cave in the roof just to get to the Lord, because how much they believed in him. So you had men and women that believe in the Lord, man. Let's stay in that same book. This is John 12 and verse number 42. It says, nevertheless, among the chief rulers also many believed on him. But because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue. And you see that? I'm going to read the next verse. For they love the praise of men more than the praise of Yahweh. You see that? So you had many that, even amongst the Pharisees, they believed on him, but they didn't make it known because they know that the Pharisees would have kind of kicked them out. And they kind of didn't want that, but you had many that believed on him. You know, many of the chief rulers also believed on him, right? So you had Israelites that always believe in the Lord, man. Let me get one more. I'm going to close up. This John 11 and verse number 47. It says, I'll start at 46. But some of them went their way to the Pharisees and told them what things Yahushua had done. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what do we? For this man doeth many miracles. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. And you see that? I'm gonna continue on. And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, ye know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. Right? So you had let me read that again, verse number 46. But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Yahushua had done. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what do we? For this man doeth many miracles. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him. You see that? And then all men was believing on the Lord, man. You know? This is why they was going so hard to destroy Yahushua. Because look, they was going to lose that money, man. So the Pharisees and the chief priests, they wasn't really about the bag, you know? They was really about the bag and the money that they was making. But you also had many of other people that did believe in the Lord, man. So that's all I pretty much got. Lord, want us to edifying, exhorting, and comforting unto the nation of Israel. And shalom, Israel. Shalom. Stay up.